Good morning, Your Honor. This is Rafael Barrera, State Certified Court Interpreter. I have been previously sworn.
Good morning, Mr. Barrera. This is Judge Bain calling from the BRC. I have a defendant coming to the podium. I need your assistance with this morning.
Thank you, Your Honor. If you allow me just a moment to connect and confirm, Judge.
Sí.
Your Honor, the interpreter can confirm that the defendant is able to hear through the headsets.
Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Aníbal Charies Santiago. Charies, el apellido.
Aníbal Chavies Santiago.
Exacto.
Sir, you're
Exactly.
here this morning in case 2021 CF 13413 AO on a charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, domestic violence. I did review the affidavit in your case, but the judge already found probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in this case in the amount of $2,500. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision that you have no contact with the victim in this case. You need to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be thrown to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. Do you have any questions about the stipulations in a no contact order, sir?
No.
No.
All right, have a great day, sir.
Muy bien, gracias.
Thank you. And Your Honor, if the interpreter could just confirm this case number for this last defendant, please.
2021 CF 13413 AO.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Your Honor, the interpreter can confirm the defendant is able to hear through the headsets.
Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Sergio Juárez Rodríguez. Juárez Rodríguez.
Sergio Juarez Rodriguez.
Sir, you're here in case 2021 CF 12453 AO on charge of aggravated assault with domestic violence and battery domestic violence.
Pero yo ya me lo.
The judge signed your warrant. This case is.
But I already,
Ya tenía un mes que me lo habían puesto y me lo habían retirado. No sé por qué estoy aquí.
well, there was a month ago that they gave it to me and then it was canceled, so I don't know why I'm here.
Well, there's a warrant issued for your arrest in this case. The judge found probable cause for those two charges that I just told you about. I'm going to set bond in your case in the count one in an amount of $2,500 in count one and $1,000 in count two. Condition your bond that you have no contact with the victim in this case. You maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at a shared residence. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Weapons or firearms you have need to be thrown to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You also may not possess or consume any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You're subject to random drug and alcohol testing at your expense. We want to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. Do you have any questions about the stipulations on your no contact order?
Pues no.
Well, no.
All right. You have a great day, sir.
Sí.
Your Honor, the interpreter can confirm the defendant is able to hear through the headsets.
Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Buenos días. Mi nombre es Bernardino Mendoza Arredondo. Men- Arredondo. Sí.
My name is Bernardino Mendoza Parredondo.
Good morning, sir. You're here in case 2021 MM 483AA on charge of battery domestic violence. I did review the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to set your bond in this case amount of $500. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. You have no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be told to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You also may not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You're subject to random drug and alcohol testing to pretrial release in this case. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. Do you have any questions about the stipulations or your no contact order, sir?
Ok, lo único que puedo decir que el sitio ese es mío, donde yo estoy viviendo.
Well, the only thing I can tell you is the place that I'm staying at belongs to me.
Well, all I can tell you is that if the victim is still living there, and you allow an adult person to live with you without a lease, then that was something that you had to deal with. But you cannot live with the victim. You cannot have any contact with her. If you have contact with her, you'll be in violation of my orders. You will be arrested. You'll spend a lot of time here with me at the Orange County Jail on no bond status for violating my court orders. You understand that?
Sí, yo entiendo perfectamente, pero el sitio está a mi nombre. So, si me tengo que ir de todas maneras, lo hago.
Yes, perfectly, but the place is in my name. If I have to leave, I'll do so.
Well, if she's there, you can't live there. You have to work that out later on, all right?
Ok, thank you.
All right, I think that was my last interpreter case. Can you make an announcement in the gallery to make sure, confirm that I don't need anybody else that needs your assistance?
Certainly, Your Honor. Su atención, por favor, si hay alguna persona en el público que necesite la ayuda del intérprete en español, por favor, alce la mano en este momento.
I don't see any hands waving at me, so you have a great day, sir.
You as well, Your Honor. Have a good morning.
All right, good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name? Mr. Davis, you're here in case 2021 CF 13414AO on charge of child abuse. They reviewed the charging affidavit in this case. It did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in this matter, amount of $5,000, conditioning your bond that you have no contact with the victim in this case. You also have to have no unsupervised contact with any child under the age of 18 years old. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You also to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return to the shared residence with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. If you have any questions about the stipulations or your no contact order. All right, you have a great day, sir. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Frank Howard Jr.
Mr. Howard, you're here in case 2021 CF 13392 AO on charge of aggravated battery with domestic violence. Did review the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in this matter in amount of $3,000. Condition your bond be subject to pretrial release supervision. You're to have no contact with the victim in this case. You're going to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You also may not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You'll be subject to random drug and alcohol testing through pretrial release in this case. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Do you have any questions about the stipulations of your no contact order? All right, you have a great day, sir. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Ronnie Jackson.
Mr. Jackson, you're here in case 2021 CF 13402 AO on charge of aggravated battery, domestic violence. Did review the charging affidavit in your case. I did find probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to set your bond in this case. Oh, I got one question. State, is this 2020, 2001 was the last battery DV conviction? And was it the same victim?
One moment, Your Honor. Your Honor, the very quick search that I do in Orange County, I cannot find it.
It's not in Orange County.
Okay.
All right, sir, I'm going to set your bond in this case in an amount of $3,500. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. You're to have no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. Do you have any questions about the stipulations in your no contact order?
No, but you were saying that I can't go to my house. What are you saying?
I ordered you to maintain a separate residence from the victim. Now, if the victim's still living at your house, then you have to deal with that in other legal fashion. But right now, if you allow somebody to live at your house, then it's that you're not married to and/or, wanted to have a live-in. Yes, that was something that you're gonna have to deal with.
My bonds is what again?
$3,500. All right, good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Frank Machete.
Sir, you're here in case 2021 CF 13410 AO on the charges of aggravated battery on a pregnant person in count 1 and count 2, battery domestic violence. I did review the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest.
He qualified. Your Honor.
I'm going to set your bond in count 1 in amount of $1,000, count 2, $500. Condition your bond to be pretrial release supervision. You're to have no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. and I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. Do you have any questions about the stipulations or your no contact order, sir? No. All right, you have a great day. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name? I can't hear you. Mr. Norris, you're here in case 2021 CF 7792AO on charges of battery one prior in count 1 and battery one prior domestic violence in count 2. Judge signing your warrant in this case found probable cause for your arrest. Your bond in count 1 is $1,500.
Your Honor, I think there's,
Which one? I'm guessing. All right, I'm gonna go from my left to my right. So, ma'am, can you tell me your name?
Cerny Scamp.
All right, you gotta cover your face. All right. Ms. Camp. A second. You said Camp or what's your last name?
Gant.
Gant? All right, Ms. Gant. Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? I can't hear you. You got to step towards the mic. That's right.
I do.
All right, just yep, there you go. All right, can you tell me how you know Mr. Norris?
That we was dating.
All right, and are you still dating Mr. Norris?
No.
All right, do you want to have contact with Mr. Norris while this case is pending?
No.
Had there been previous instances of domestic violence between you all in the past?
Yes.
And did drugs and alcohol play a role in this incident?
I want to say it was.
Say, do you have any questions for the witness?
No questions, Your Honor.
And Ms. George?
No questions, Your Honor.
All right, man, can you tell me your name?
Tatiana Gant.
All right, Ms. Gant, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, you put your hand down. Can you tell me how you know Mr. Norris?
He was dating my mom.
Say again?
He dated my mom.
Okay. And do you want to have contact with Mr. Norris while this case is pending?
No.
State, do you have any questions for the witness?
No, Your Honor.
And Ms. George?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Norris doesn't live with any one of you, correct?
He used to.
Say again?
He used to.
He used to? Does he have any personal items at that house?
No, sir.
All right. All right, Mr. Norris, in count 1, the judge set your bond in a bond of $1,500. Count 2, I'm going to set your bond in the same amount, $1,500. Condition of your bond is that you to have no contact with the victims in this case, not to return to the scene of the location where this incident occurred. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And you also may not possess or consume any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You'll be subject to random drug and alcohol testing at your expense. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. Do you have any questions about the stipulations or your no contact order, Mr. Norris?
Somebody say they ain't have no personal belongings of mine. I've never retrieved everything that belonged to me.
Say again?
Retrieved anything that belonged to me. She say they don't own none of my personal items. They probably done got rid of them, but I never received all my personal.
Okay. Right now, that's something that you take up, like if there comes an issue or something that you can,
Stay in.
yeah, but my question, do you have any questions about the stipulation, no contact order? All right, you have a great day, sir. All right, have a great day, ladies. All right, good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Goodley.
Ms. Goodley, you're here in case 2021 MM 7207 AO on a charge of battery domestic violence. I did review the charging affidavit in your case. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Good morning, ma'am. Can you come to the microphone? Please tell me your name and spell your last name.
Victoria Lozada, Lozada.
Okay. And can you raise your right hand to be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Can you tell me how you know Ms. Goodley?
She's my daughter.
And do you want to have contact with Ms. Goodley while this case is pending?
I have to, yes. But
Has there been previous instances of domestic violence between you all in the past?
no, I don't know what's going on with her, though.
I'm sorry, say it again?
I don't know what's going on with her. She needs help. She's not taking her medicine, and I can't put myself at risk to let it happen again.
All right. Well, questions. Does she see a mental health provider on a regular basis?
No, she was just released from Lakeside on, I think it was Sunday. And then she went back in the hospital on Monday, but she hasn't taken her meds because the bag is still closed.
Because of the
The bag is
pharmacy?
still sealed from the pharmacy.
Okay. Besides that, any other drugs or alcohol play a role in this incident?
No.
Say, do you have any questions for the witness?
No, Your Honor.
And Ms. George?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Davis? Has she been screened for mental health pretrial release?
No, this is her first time in Andrea.
All right.
I was gonna also, I have a question
Yes, ma'am.
to file. Is it an injunction at the same time?
That you talk to the state of Florida, they can assist you with that. That's another legal matter you got to take in front of another judge, okay?
Okay.
But the state attorney's office is required to kind of help you in that process.
So as far as contact is just phone, but not coming back to the
Well,
house?
that was my question to you, because at first you told me that you wanted to have contact, but then your statements kind of led me to believe that you don't want to have contact.
Yeah,
So-
she needs to get help, and I can't contact, I mean, like call, because she has nobody else. So she has to find, housing, or she needs help finding housing, because she has a son.
Okay, well, this question is, do you want to have contact with her or not? I mean, because I can order something called no hostile contact. No hostile contact means that she can't be violent with you and can be threatening, but you guys can have face-to-face contact, phone contact.
She can't.
I was also going to order something called mental health pretrial release that she's going to be screened for.
I can call her or over the phone, but what I went through this whole weekend, it was too aggressive. I can't control her. She keeps cursing, disrespecting, fucking bitch, you fucking liar at home, and I can't have that at the house. I can't, but she could call and I can tell her about her son, or she has an open case right now with DCF, and I have to give her the information, or I don't know how else to get her the information.
Well, we can get that worked out. I'm also going to appoint her attorney in a moment.
Okay.
All right, actually, Ms. Gilly, I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. I'm going to release you on something called mental health pretrial release in this case. If you don't qualify for mental health pretrial release, going to set your bond in the amount of $100. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. You'd have no contact with the victim in this case. You're gonna maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You also may not possess any weapons or firearms. Weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And also, you may not possess or consume any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. Now, you should take whatever medications that are being prescribed to you, but no, nothing else. You understand? All right, go on. Anybody have anything else?
No, Your Honor.
No. Yeah, she doesn't qualify. Yes, correct. All right. All right, everybody have a great day.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Kenneth Jones.
Mr. Jones, you're here in case 2021 MM7216AO on charge of battery dating violence. They reviewed a charging affidavit in your case. It did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in this case in amount of $1,500. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. You to have no contact with the victim in this case. You're going to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'm going to order a one-time return, but I don't know if this case really needs it. We'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have from the location of the incident. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Do you have any questions about the stipulations of your no contact order?
Sir.
All right, you have a great day, sir.
All right, greatly appreciate it.
Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Iris Mayorga.
Ma'am, you're here in case 2021 MM7220AO on charge of battery domestic violence. They reviewed the charging affidavit in this case, did find probable cause for your arrest. And, all right. All right, ma'am, I'm going to set your bond in this case amount of $250. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. You're to have no contact with the victim in this case. You're going to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. Do you have any questions about the stipulations or your no contact order, ma'am?
Yes, I have one question. I let him stay in my house until he finded one apartment. He are supposed to rent one apartment on December. By December 11, he are supposed to get the apartment. Without no contact, I don't know how we are going to do this.
All right. Well, my orders can be modified by Judge Wayne Shoemaker, who's the division judge in this case. So you can get in front of him and see if the contact can be modified. But right now, it's going to be no contact, all right?
Okay, perfect. And can I pay the money by myself?
Yes, ma'am. All right. You have a great day.
Thank you.
Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Maria Molina, sir.
Ms. Molina, you're here in case 2021 MM7221AO on charge of battery domestic violence. I did review the charging affidavit in your case. It did find probable cause for your arrest. And Ms. Davis, does she qualify?
Yes, she qualifies.
Going to set your bond in this case in the amount of $250. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. You to have no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. Do you have any questions about the stipulations of your no contact order, ma'am?
No.
All right. You have a great day, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Kimberly Milbauer.
Ms. Norbell, are you here in case 2021 MM 7208 AO for a violation of PTR conditions on a domestic violence case? I did review the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in that matter, amount of $10,000. Condition of your bond is you have no contact with the victims in that case. You now return to the scene of the location where the incident occurred. You are out on PTR and or bond in case 2021 CF 12966 AO. Court's going to revoke that bond or PTR in that case. Going to set bond amount of $0. Going to appoint a public defender to represent you in your new case.
Your Honor, I understand the violation. I would just ask that if you looked at her history, the only thing she ever had was the aggravated assault that she's out on bond for. I would just ask that if you are inclined to revoke, you revoke in double, given that she has no other criminal history here, Your Honor, that I'm looking at. And I don't know if it's still accurate, but it looks like she worked, it's saying OCPS. She works for a school.
All right. Seems that in this case, right after being released from custody, that she just disregarded all the court orders. So I don't have any other, I don't know what else to do to help the situation. All right. You have a great day, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
My name is Mr. Edmund, Your Honor.
Say again.
My name is Kasim Edmund, Your Honor.
Mr. Edmond, you're here in case 2018 CF 2739 AO from Osceola County for violation of probation. There's been an on-view arrest for your violation. Probable cause has been determined, and your bond is set at no bond in that matter. Going to appoint the public defender to represent you in that case. You have a great day, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Christopher Highcamp.
Sir, you're here in case 2021 CF 100648 from Volusia County for violation of probation. There's an on-view arrest. Court did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond at no bond. Your bond's going to remain at no bond. Going to appoint the public defender to represent you till we get you over to Volusia County. You have a great day, sir. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Deontay Anderson.
Mr. Anderson, you're here in case 2020 CF 12979 AO on for a violation of probation. Judge set your bond in amount of no bond. Your bond's going to remain in no bond in this case. Going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. You have a great day, sir. All right, good morning, sir. You're here in case, oh, sorry, can you tell me your name, sir? Tell me your name.
My name is Moses Blake, sir.
Mr. Blake, you're here in case 2018 CF 105920 for violation of probation. Judge signed your warrant in this case. Set your bond amount of $1,000. However, you seem to be a violent felony offender of special concern, sir. And under 948.06, you're not entitled to a bond. So the court's going to set your bond at no bond in this case. Going to appoint a public defender to represent you in this matter. You have a great day, sir. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Elvin Bowman.
Mr. Bowman, you're here in case 2020 CF 333 for violation of probation. The judge in this case set your bond amount of $500. But your bond's going to remain as set in this case. I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you in this matter. You have a great day, sir. I have one more. Dansworth. All right. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Yes, sir. James Patrick Danforth, sir.
Mr. Danworth, you're here for arraignment this morning in case 2021 MM 6301 AO on 3 charges. The first one being aggravated assault on a law enforcement, assault on a law enforcement officer, count 2, assault on a law enforcement officer, and count 3, resisting officer without violence. All 3 of those charges are first-degree misdemeanors. They're all punishable by up to 1 year in the county jail and a $1,000 fine. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You're represented by the public defender's office. Ms. George, do you have an resolution as this case, or you're entering a plea? Or a plea you want to enter on behalf of your client?
Not guilty, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Dansworth, I'm going to accept your plea of not guilty in this case. I'm going to set you for pretrial in Division 82 on the following day.
Division 82, pretrial conference, November the 8th at 10:30 and 10B.
What's going on here? There we go. All right, good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Jonathan Flores.
All right, what happened to Davis?
Bonded, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Flores, you're here in case 2021 MM 672 AW for a sole count of the information charging paid theft with 1 prior theft conviction. That is a first-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable to 1 year in the county jail and a $1,000 fine. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Ms. George, what plea you want to enter on behalf of Mr. Flores?
Not guilty, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Flores, I will accept your plea of not guilty in this case. I'm going to set you for a pretrial in Division 82 on the following day. No, Division 80, I'm sorry, sir.
Division 80 pretrial conference, November the 18th at 9 a.m. and 9C.
Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Robert Michael Rusty Gillum.
Say your name again.
Robert Michael Rusty Gillum.
Mr. Gillum, you're here in case 2021 MM 4910 AO on a sole count of information being trespass on property other than a structure or conveyance. That is a first-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable up to 1 year in the county jail and a $1,000 fine. State, was there an offer to resolve Mr. Gillum's case?
For this offense, Your Honor, it's adjudication of guilt, credit time served, no return to the Wawa located at 3501 Millennia Boulevard. There is also a cost of investigation to OPD in the amount of $78.
And Mr. Gillum, you also have another case, 2021 MM 6014 AO. We're being charged with petty theft of $100 or more. And that is also a first-degree misdemeanor, punishable to 1 year in the county jail and a $1,000 fine. Ms. George, what plea you on behalf of his, in that case?
The state's not making an offer here today, Your Honor, so I will plead not guilty.
All right. I was going to if he's not gonna resolve it. I was trying to save him some money. Well,
There's no offer, so we can't resolve it, Your Honor. So we're gonna enter plea of not guilty.
All right,
But
so
we will
that's-
accept the trespass.
all right. As a 6014 AO, sir, I'm going to accept your plea of not guilty. I'm going to set you for a pretrial in Division 80 on the following day.
Division 80 pretrial conference, November the 18th at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m.
And Mr. Gillum, you want to accept the state's offer of adjudication of guilt and credit time served and the cost of investigation of $78 to OPD?
Yes, sir.
All right, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Gillum, in the case 2021 MM 4910 AO, you're being charged with trespass on property other than a structure and conveyance. That's a first-degree misdemeanor, punishable up to 1 year in the county jail and a $1,000 fine. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
What plea would you like to enter on this case? Guilty or no contest?
No contest.
Do you understand by entering a plea of no contest in this matter, you're going to waive all the rights on the plea form that's in front of you?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication? Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness? Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
Do you understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation?
I understand, sir.
All right. I didn't have an opportunity to look at your case while I was sitting up here in the court file in that matter. And I do find a factual basis contained in your court file. So I'm going to accept your plea of no contest, find your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty of the charge and give you credit for the 1 day that you spent in the Orange County Jail with 1 day credit time served. Court costs and costs of prosecution in that case are $273. There's also a $78 cost of investigation in that case. I make all those costs payable directly to the clerk within 2 years of today's date. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment and sentence in writing. Ms. George, you have something to?
I don't know when, can we do it from the date of release? Your Honor? I'm not sure when he's gonna be released. He has other charges.
Date of release, the payment?
Can we do it 2 years or a year from the date of release? Because I don't know, he has other.
You have felony cases or something?
No, I have two.
He has more petty thefts.
Considering the petty theft
I don't know if
that's
they're
on
gonna-
the docket
Yeah,
today, and
we
then
should-
I have one more.
Okay.
We should be resolved those in the next 6 months, if not anything sooner. I mean, he has pretrial next month on one of the cases, so you should have pretrial next month on the other case as well.
Okay, I just wanna make sure.
Yeah. You should have.
This is a warrant.
Had Hunter. All right. This 2021 MM 3338 AO. Mr. Hunter Ms. George, you want to waive his appearance?
Yes, I'll waive and enter denial, Your Honor.
All right. We'll set him for VOP status in Division 84.
Division 84, BOP status, November the 22nd at 8:30 and 4B.
All right. This is case 2021 MM 6583AO. Mr. Lee, Ms. George, you want to waive his appearance?
Yes, I'll waive and enter plea of not guilty.
All right, 7 for Division 84 pretrial.
Division 84 pretrial conference, November the 15th at 9 a.m. and 4B.
All right, this is White, 2 hours. All right. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Charles White.
Mr. White, you're here in case 2021 MM 3723AO on a charge of pay theft of $100 or more. That is a first-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable up to 1 year in the county jail and a $1,000 fine. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Say, was an offer to resolve Mr. White's case?
Yes, Your Honor. It's an adjudication of guilt, restitution in the amount of $420, and that is to Cash America Porn. There's a cost of investigation of $140 to OPD, and he is also not to return to the Cash America Porn located at 2363 West Colonial Drive.
What was the cost of investigation?
140.
And do you have a restitution order?
I can get that to you, Your Honor.
All right. And Mr. White, did you accept that offer from the state of Florida?
Yes, sir.
You understand that a conviction in this case can be used at a later date to enhance your sentencing up to a third-degree felony?
Yes, sir.
All right, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, but now, it calls it, you said OPD, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. White, that case, you're being charged in 2021 MM 3723AO by information with charge of pay theft for $100 or more. That's a first-degree misdemeanor. Punishable to 1 year in the county jail and a $1,000 fine. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Do you want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest to resolve this case with the state?
No contest.
Do you understand by entering a plea of no contest, you're going to waive all the rights outlined on the plea form that you just signed?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that a conviction in this case can be used at a later date to enhance your sentencing up to a third-degree felony?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, sir.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
Yes, sir.
What was that mental health illness?
Schizophrenia.
Are you suffering the symptoms of your schizophrenia right now?
No, sir.
You take any medications for your schizophrenia?
Yes, sir.
Do those medications help you understand the world around you?
Yes, sir.
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
Do you understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation?
Yes, sir.
The opportunity to review your court file in this case, did find a factual basis contained therein. Going to accept your plea of no contest in this matter, find that your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty of the charge. Will you give you credit for the 1 day that you spent in the Orange County Jail with 1 day credit time served? The court costs and cost of prosecution in this case are $273. There's a $420 to Cash America Pawn, and there is a $140 cost of investigation to the Orlando Police Department. I'm going to combine all these costs for payment. I'm going to give you 3 years from today's date to pay this money directly to the clerk in full. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment and sentence in writing. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
And the state's going to give me a restitution order, and I think that should be it. You have a great day, sir. All right. Cover that. All right.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so, Ms. George, I got your case. So for Pierre, 2021 CF 9617 AO, you said state did not file information in that case. I granted that motion, 33-day motion.
Okay.
And for Douglas, 2021 CF 7893 AO, state you said you weren't filing, correct?
Correct, Your Honor. Notice of non-filing.
I'll grant Douglas. All right. Yeah, I skipped one. Steve Roman. I think I skipped one from this morning, 2021 CF 12183 AO.
I apologize, Your Honor. Repeat the number. I do.
2021 CF 12183.
It was granted. Notice of non-filing.
I think I didn't call it. I think I stuck it to another piece of paper. So I'll grant that motion. All right. All right. Come on, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Theodore
What's your full name?
Bird.
Mr. Bird, you're here in case 2021 MM 7218 AO on charge of petty theft. They reviewed a charging affidavit in this case. Did find probable cause for your arrest. State, was there an offer for Mr. Bird this afternoon?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Mr. Bird, I'm going to stay your bond in this case. And the amount was $250. Condition on your bond is that you, actually, Mr. Bird, I'm going to set your bond in this case amount of $1,000. Condition of your bond is you not return to the scene of the location, may not possess may not possess any drugs or alcohol. You may not have any contact with any victims or witnesses in this case. You have a great day, sir. No, I don't. All right, this case 2021 MM 7219 AO, Mr. Masete.
Your Honor,
Point of public defender to represent him.
can we reset for tomorrow? There was an offer.
All right, do you think he's gonna be,
Think he can come?
all right, is he gonna be available to speak to us tomorrow? Or is he in a point of crisis at the moment? Today? All right, we'll reset him for tomorrow and see if we can make sure he's eligible to talk, he's be able to talk to us tomorrow.
Okay, we'll see.
You say yes? Tomorrow you should be good?
There is a possibility, right now he's on suicide precaution, so 24-hour turnaround. see how
Oh,
he's going around.
so,
You want to do something for Thursday then?
yes, Your Honor.
All right, let's do Thursday. I'll be here Thursday morning. Let's do Thursday. All right. Good morning, ma'am. Sorry, good afternoon, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Hannah Smith.
Ms. Smith, you're here in case 2021 MM 7217 AO on a charge of trespass on property after warning. They reviewed the charging affidavit in your case. Did find probable cause for your arrest. Say was an offer to resolve Ms. Smith's case?
Yes, Your Honor. It is a withhold of adjudication, credit time served. No return to the Wyndham Corporation located at 8001 International Drive.
Right. This petty theft case, that's a summons case or something? I couldn't even find the case because it was AAAO.
It's in Osceola County.
It's Osceola County case. Ah, okay.
Yes,
That
Your
makes
Honor.
sense. All right. All right. Ms. Smith, did you want to take the offer from the state of Florida of withhold adjudication of guilt credit time served in this case?
Yes.
Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, you put your hand down, ma'am. Ma'am, we here on that charge of trespass on property after warning. That's a first-degree misdemeanor. The maximum penalties for that is 1 year in the county jail and $1,000 fine. Do you understand?
Yes,
You want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest to resolve this case with the state.
no contest.
Do you understand by entering a plea of no contest that you're going to give up all the rights outlined in the plea form that's in front of you?
Yes, sir.
You understand? You give up the right to have a trial, challenge the state's evidence, call witnesses on your behalf. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, medication?
No,
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
no,
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
no.
You understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation.
Yes, sir.
I did have an opportunity to review your charging affidavit in this case. I did find a factual basis contained therein. Going to accept your plea of no contest. I find that it's freely and voluntarily entered. I'm going to withhold adjudication of guilt, give you credit for the 2 days that you spent in the Orange County Jail with 2 days credit time served. Court costs and costs of prosecution in this case are $273. I want to give you 1 year from today's date to pay that money directly to the clerk in full. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment and sentence in writing. You have a great day, ma'am.
Thank you.
No action.
I'm not taking action on her. Is it an open case bond? Because I can't even tell whether,
Said it was a notice to appear, then she was referred to diversion, and then she was rejected from diversion a couple of months later, but it's still open.
okay, yeah, but I don't think she was ever out on a, there was no bonds or pretrial release or any other kind of thing was set in her case, so. All right. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
LaAngel Wilcox.
Ms. Wilcox, you're here in 2021 MM 7214, charges of trespass on property after warning and resisting officer without violence. You're also here in case 2021 MM 7215 AO for a charge of resisting officer without violence. Was this, I was trying to, was this like a continuous action? I was trying to,
That's what I was gonna argue, Your Honor. They're all stemming from the same incident, so we would ask that you ROR as to one of the resisting an officer without violence.
and then her felony case, she's out on is she on PTD or is it?
She was referred to PTD, Your Honor, September 27th.
All right. So what are you asking I do as to that case? I do agree with Ms. George. I am with RR as the second
That's
resisting
fine, Your
case.
Honor, but Ms. Wilcox appears not to like officers, so.
That may be true.
Not true.
I don't know. I have no idea what's going on.
That's not true.
Ma'am, that's what I said. I have no idea if that's true or not. I don't know. I don't know if you just don't like these particular officers or, or what the situation was that caused this incident to happen. I'm not sure. Well, I wasn't there, so I can't tell you. But,
Your Honor, sorry, go ahead.
I would at least ask that you revoke and double, Your Honor.
all right.
I would as well, Your Honor. If you look, it looks like she just started a job. She has 0 failures to appear, and it looks like last year was her last conviction, so I just ask that you take that into consideration.
So resisting without.
Oops. All right, as to the cases you're here for, 2021 MM 7214 AO, in count one, I'm going to set your bond amount of $500, count two, $100. Condition of bond, no return to the scene of location, no contact with any victims or witnesses. Let me pull up your felony case now. All right, ma'am, as to 2021 CF 2419AO, court find probable cause to commit a new law offense while you're out on bond in that case. You want to revoke that bond. You're going to set a new bond in count 1, amount of $2,000. Count 2, $2,000. We're going to you have Mr. Schwartz representing you in that case, and want to appoint the public defender to represent you in your new case. You have a great day, ma'am.
Your Honor, for the new case, she does have her belongings at that hotel, so I'll just ask for a one-time return with law enforcement to gather her belongings.
Yep, I give her a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items she has at the location.
And just to confirm, Your Honor, on 2021 MM7215, that is the case where you are RORing
Yes.
her? Okay.
Yep, 15 ROR.
What does that mean?
I'm releasing your own recognizance as to that case, so you don't have to post any bonds or anything like that. Yeah, no PC. All right. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Kenneth Wood.
Mr. Wood, you here in case 2021 MO 1172AO on charges of disorderly conduct. They reviewed the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. I believe the city of Orlando is offering you a withhold of adjudication of guilt and court costs. Would you like to accept that offer from the city?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
You put your hand down. Sir, you're here in case 2021 MO 1172, on that charge of disorderly conduct. That's a second-degree misdemeanor. Punishable to 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. You understand?
Sir.
Do you want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest to resolve your case?
No contest.
Do you understand by entering a plea of no contest, you're going to waive all the rights on the plea form that's in front of you?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, medication?
No, sir.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
No, sir.
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
You understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation.
I'm a citizen.
Yeah. I did have an opportunity to review your charging affidavit in this case, so I did find a factual basis contained therein. Going to accept your plea of no contest, finds your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Going to withhold adjudication of guilt. Give you credit for the 2 days that you spent in the Orange County Jail with 2 days credit time served. Court costs in this case are $223. I want to give you 1 year from today's date to pay that money directly to the clerk in full. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment and sentence in writing. You have a great day, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Come on, sir, can you tell me your name?
Harrison Michael Whitley.
Sorry, good afternoon, Mr. Whitley. You're here in case 2020 MM570AO for a failure to appear. Judge sets your bond in count 1 amount $3,500 and $100 in count 2. Say, was an offer to resolve this case today?
No, Your Honor, count 2 is criminal mischief.
I know there was something in the file from before. All right, Mr. Whitley, I'm going to stay your bonds at that amount, $3,500 and $100. Additional additional bond, no return to the scene, no contact with any victims or witnesses. This is the public defender already in your case. All right. Now, you still have the public defender representing you in this case? You have a great day, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Angel Milan.
Mr. Milan, you're here in case 2021 CT 6060AO for failure to appear. Judge set your bond amount $2,000. But say was an offer to resolve this case.
It's adjudication of guilt and credit time served.
Mr. Milan, did you like to accept that offer from the state of Florida?
Yes.
All right, can you raise your right hand to be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Or you put your hand down. Sir, you're here in 2021 CT 6060AO on charge of attaching a tag to a license plate not assigned. That is a second-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable up to 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest to resolve this case today?
No contest.
You understand by entering a plea of no contest, you're going to waive all the rights outlined on the plea form that's in front of you.
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, medication?
No.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
No, sir.
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
You understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation.
Yes.
I did have opportunity to review your court file in this case. I did find a factual basis contained therein. Going to accept your plea of no contest, finds your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Going to adjudicate you guilty of the charge. Give you credit for the 2 days that you spent in the Orange County Jail with 2 days credit time served. Court costs and cost of prosecution in this case are $306. I'm going to give you 1 year from today's date to pay that money directly to the clerk in full. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment and sentence in writing. You have a great day, sir. All right. Good afternoon, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Zorian Alford.
Ms. Alford, you're here in case 2021 CF 7313AO on a charge of violation of conditional pretrial release. Judge signing your warrant in this case set your bond at no bond. Your bond's going to remain at no bond. I believe you already have the public defender representing you.
Why do I have a no bond?
Because you violated some condition of your pretrial release. I'll tell you
Does
what
that
it
mean
is.
I'm not going to be able to get out today?
No, ma'am. Let's see what it says. Looks like you had a positive drug test.
How long do I have to stay in custody? How long do I have to remain in custody?
I don't know. You got to get in front of your division judge, which is Judge Strobridge, and have a conversation with her about any appropriate release conditions that she thinks are going to be appropriate. All right?
Any action on bond?
I'm not taking action on a bond case, 2021 MM 4327. Hope she's not pregnant and using MDMA. That's not good. All right. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Walter Allen.
Mr. Allen, you here in case 2021 CF 13406AO on charge of possession of cocaine. Judge did review the charging affidavit, did find probable cause for your arrest. We're going to set your bond in this case at about $1,000, conditioning your bond that you not possess or consume any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. Be subject to RAM drug testing in this case. You're out on ROR in 2021 CF 11909AO. Of course, going to revoke that ROR status. Going to set bond in that case. He's only charged with one count, correct?
2 counts.
2 counts. Amount of $2,000 on count 1, $1,000 on count 2. Same conditions, no drugs, alcohol without a valid prescription, subject to RAM drug and alcohol testing. Want to appoint the public defender to represent you. You have a great day, sir.
Thanks.
Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Emil Alvarez.
Mr. Alvarez, you're here in case 2013 CF 7732AO on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 counts of capital sexual battery on a child and 2 counts of sexual battery on a child between the ages of 12 and 18 by a person in a familiar or custodial relation. Judge signing your warrant in this case has already found probable cause for your arrest. Say, what are you asking that I do ask Mr. Alvarez's bonds?
Your Honor, as noted, counts 1 through 5 are capital offenses. Counts 6 and 7 are punishable by life. I ask defendant be held no bond on all offenses.
Mr. Alvarez, they're going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. Ms. George, you have a response to the state's request?
No response, Chair. We reserve the right to have Arthur here.
All right, Ms. Alvarez, in this case, I want to hold you at no bond as to all your counts. Condition of your bonds, you have no contact with any victims or victims' families in this case. You may not have any unsupervised contact with any child under the age of 12 years old. You may not possess or consume any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You also may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You have a great day, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. No, no bond. Good morning, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Yeah, Rodrigo Melendez.
Sir, you're here in case 2021 CF 13391 AO on charge of possession of methamphetamine and possession of drug paraphernalia. I did review the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to set your bond in count one, in the amount of $1,000, count two, $100. Condition in the bond is you're not allowed to possess or consume any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You're subject to random drug testing in this case. You are out on bond in case 2021 CF 11829, as well as 2021 CF 13259, as well as 2021 CF 12227 AO. Court find probable cause that you committed a new law offense while you're out on bond in those cases. He's going to revoke those bonds. Going to set a new bond at $0 in that matter. Going to appoint the public defender in any case that you're not already represented on. You have a great day, sir. No, 1,100. Yep. All right. All right. Good afternoon, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Brittany Carlson.
Ms. Carlson, you're here in case 2021 CF 13401 AO on charge of paid theft with 2 prior theft convictions. 1 second. Did review the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in this case in an amount of $2,000. Condition of your bond is you're not allowed to return to the scene of the location. You're not allowed to have any contact with any victims or witnesses from this case. State, what are you asking I do to this out on bond case for the same charge?
I would ask that you revoke, Your Honor.
We're going to appoint the public defender, ma'am, to represent you in this case, your new case. But as to your old case, 2021 CF 12507 AO, court's going to revoke that bond. But set a new bond at $0 in that matter. We're going to believe you already had the public defender representing you in that case. Nope, we're going to appoint a public defender to represent you in any case you're not already represented. You have a great day, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Franklin Davis.
Mr. Davis, you're here in 3 matters. The first one, 2021 CF 13405 AO, on charge of possession of cocaine with a weapon, possession of drug paraphernalia, and littering. You're also here in case 2021 CF 13404 AO, on charge of possession with cannabis with intent to sell and deliver with a weapon, possession of cannabis over 20 grams with a weapon, carrying a concealed firearm, and possession of drug paraphernalia with intent to sell and deliver. You're also here in case 2021 CF 13409 AO on charge of possession of a bulletproof vest during the commission of a crime. Did review the charging affidavit in your cases. In that case, involving all these cases, did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in count 1 in 2021 CF 13405 AO, the amount of $5,000. Count 2, $100. Count 3, $100. In 2021 CF 13404 AO, going to set your bond in that case in the amount of $150 in count 1, $150 in count 2, $150 in count 3, $150 in count 4, $150 in count 5. And the 2021 CF 13409 AL, want to stay your bond in that case in the amount of $2,500. Condition of your bonds in all your cases, you're not allowed to possess or consume any drugs, alcohol without a valid prescription. You be subject to random drug testing in all your cases. You're not allowed, may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons and firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I want to appoint a public defender to represent you in all your cases. Did I miss any? Yes. Yeah, they did the multiple affidavits in the, point of trying to raise his bonds. Doesn't make any sense. All right, have a great day, sir. All right. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Ralph Lewis Hodge.
Mr. Hodge, you're here in case 2020 CF 109928 AO on a failure to appear warrant issued in that case. Judge set your bond at no bond. Your bonds can remain at no bond. You already had a public defender representing you in this matter. You have a great day, sir.
So can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Can I get in touch with my public defender?
Well, it's the phone number on the green sheet of paper you got your hand on right now. You should call.
At the top, it's a number.
All right, here, that's who I call.
Mm-hmm.
So my bond is still zero?
Yes, sir.
Why can't I get a bond?
Because the judge issued a warrant, he said no bond, and I don't have the authority to do that under the rules.
I respect it. Thank you, sir.
All right, have a good day, sir.
My permits, refuse, Your Honor.
All right, it's 2021 CF 13396 AO. Mr. McCrimmich. I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent him.
I'll waive the appearance, Your Honor.
All right, did review his charging affidavit, did find probable cause for the charge of grand theft, motor vehicle, and resisting officer without violence. Going to set his bond to count one amount $2,000, count two $100. Condition of the bond, no return to the scene, no contact with any victims or witnesses.
We need him fingerprinted. I know, but we have an out of this.
Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Good afternoon. Jonathan Mena Sanchez, sir.
All right. I got a question. Ms. Davis, question for you. If Mr. Mena resolves this driver license suspended case, will he qualify for pretrial release at that point?
Oh, I'm sorry, for who?
He has this open case, and that's the reason why he doesn't qualify, at least that's what I can tell, for pretrial release. If he resolves this case right, that 2014 traffic case, will he didn't qualify for pretrial release?
No, Your Honor. He didn't give us an address, no telephone number, no
All right.
emergency contact information, no employment information.
Mr. Mena, are you still staying at his Boggy Creek address?
I know, so I'm staying with my cousin, and I think it's 52, it's just like, I don't know, I think it's 5279 Images Circle in Kissimmee.
All right.
But I'm not really sure.
All right.
I know it's Images Circle in Kissimmee, but I know that, I think it's
When
57.
he's released, are they gonna give him a court date on this driver license suspended case from 2014? I'm asking. Yes. No. 2014 CT 10997. I think 0 AO. Yeah. No AO. Yep, there it is.
Oh.
Yeah, I know that, but this is a yeah. Well, I'm gonna ask, Mr. Mena, you have an open driver license suspended case, 2014 CT 10997 AO. Do you want to resolve that case today?
Like I don't have the money right now, but I heard all I gotta do is pay my tickets.
All right.
I gone to court and pay my court fees, and all I gotta do is like pay the tickets, I guess. But I'm supposed to like come and see the judge because I don't know how much it was the ticket.
Yeah, I mean, you
Like a
probably gonna have to sign up for one of those green light programs, but you still gonna have to resolve this case to deal with that situation.
Sir,
Say, you have an offer you can make for that case?
really like.
I apologize, Your Honor. If you could give me the case number again?
2014 CT 10997 AO. Is it 990? Is it 7? Yeah, no, that's right.
You don't have to bring that back to me. Somebody can take them downstairs and get fingerprints. Because he has this case in Georgia. They can't put a hold on him until his fingerprints.
Your Honor, I don't have his driving record. I just don't want him to be habitualized if he's trying to get it, his driver's license. I only see one conviction on here. I just don't know if he.
Yeah, he has some stuff from around the same time, like in Orange and Osceola. This seems to be a notice to appear case that he didn't show up for, and instead of issuing a capias for his arrest, we decided to waive his speed trial and what they used to call D6 and close. But we've been on a mission to try to get some of these cases done that have been laying around. I mean, otherwise, I'm gonna set him for pretrial, and I'm gonna ask, one point the public defender represent him, or I see if he can waive his arraignment, then I'll set him for pretrial.
Yeah, can we do that? Because he said he's only has to pay the fees.
All right.
And he can get his license. He's already checked into that.
All right, so in that case, I want to appoint a public defender to represent him. We're gonna set him for pretrial in what's your division?
And I'll waive the arraignment, Your Honor.
And I'll set you for pretrial in Division 84. As to this case, 2021 CF 13408 AO, I'm going to set your bond in count one, my $1,000, count two, $100. Condition of your bond is not possess or consume any drugs, alcohol without valid prescription. Be subject to random drug testing in that case.
Do you have a date yet? Or?
Yep, so we're going to get working on that right now for. Morning, PD. You're in a plea of not guilty, Ms. George?
Yes, I'll enter plea of not guilty.
She's in a plea of not guilty. We're going to set her for Division 84.
All right, it's gonna be Division 84 pretrial conference, November the 15th at 9 a.m. in Fort Lee.
All right. So keep in contact with your attorney. Make sure you don't miss any court dates. So you can get that. You can get working on that case as well. Yeah.
Thank you, I appreciate it, sir. No, but don't get a hold of these.
So who in movement? Who movement?
Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Jefferson Millard.
Mr. Millard, you're here in case 2021 CF 4826 AO for failure to appear. Judge in that case set your bond in the amount of $5,000. Your bonds remain at $5,000. I believe you already had a public defender appointed to represent you in that case. You have a great day, sir.
Say it again, sir?
Your bond's $5,000. You have your public defender represent you.
I don't have nobody to call to burn me out.
All right, as I said, you got contact, call your attorney on that sheet of paper.
Uh-huh.
So make sure, one, you're not missing any more court dates. Two, you can get you in front of that your division judge so you can talk to them about what bond conditions you can afford or if you can't afford any. So you gotta talk to Judge Roche about that. All right?
Which I'm going home?
You have a bond of $5,000.
I don't have nobody to burn me
I
out.
understand that. You didn't, so listen to what I'm telling you. Call the number on a sheet of paper. Talk to your attorney so you can get in front of Judge Roche and talk about your case. All right, good. All right, good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
John Rafferty.
All right, sir, you're here in two matters. The first one being 2021 CF 13374 AO on charge of driver license suspended as habitual traffic offender. You're also here in case 2021 CF 13375 AO for a charge of possession of a firearm by convicted felon in 2 counts and possession of cannabis with intent to sell and deliver, and possession of cocaine with intent to sell and deliver. Want to set your, in 2021 CF 13374 AO, want to stay your bond in that case by $2,500. Condition your bond that you not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release, as well as you're not allowed to operate a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. Yeah, and no drugs or alcohol without valid prescription in both cases, sorry. As to your 2021 CF 13375 AO, gonna set bond in your case in count one amount of $5,000, condition, count two, 150, count three, 150, and count four, 150. Condition of your bond that you're not allowed the same thing, no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription, no weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You're not allowed to operate a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. Want to appoint the public defender to represent you in both cases. You have a great day, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
My name is Cornelius Rembert, sir.
Mr. Rembert, you're here in case 2021 CF 121180 AO on a charge of aggravated assault with a firearm and possession of a firearm or ammunition by a convicted felon. Judge signing your warrant in this case has found probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in count one in the amount of $7,500. Count two, $5,000. Condition of your bonds is that you have no contact with the victim in this case, that you maintain a separate residence from that victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you may have at that shared residence. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. Do you have any questions about the stipulations of your no contact order, sir? All right, you have a great day, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Lazarus Rump.
Mr. Rum, you're here in case 2018 CF 3544 AO for failure to appear warrant. Judge set your bond at no bond. Your bond's going to remain at no bond. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. All right, you have a great day, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Kevin Dion Steplight, sir.
Mr. Steplight, you're here in case 2021 CF 133850 AO on a charge of aggravated assault with a firearm and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. I did review the charge. The judge signing your warrant in this case has already found probable cause for your arrest. Give me 1 second. I'm going to stay your bonds in that case and count one amount of $2,500 and count two in amount of $4,000. Condition in the bond, no contact with the victims in this case, no return to the scene of the location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. You have a great day, sir.
No, sir. Thank you, sir.
Have a good one.
Sir.
All right, good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
David Vasquez.
Mr. Vasquez, you're here in case 2021 CF 13407 AO on charge of possession of cocaine, possession of heroin, and possession of fentanyl. Did review the charging affidavit, did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond to count one to $1,000, count two, $150, count three, $150. Condition of the bond, no drugs or alcohol without valid prescription, subject to random drug testing. Want to appoint a public defender to represent you. You have a great day, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Homer G. Walker.
Mr. Walker, you're here in case 2021 CF 12651AO for charges of failure of sexual predator to register in 2 counts. Judge signing your warrant in this case has already found probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in count 1, amount of $3,500, count 2, $150. Condition of your bond is you have 48 hours to get to the sheriff's office from the time you are released to register as a violent sexual predator or sexual offender. We're going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. You have a great day, sir.
This whole thing.
Don't talk about the facts.
Let's go.
Good afternoon, Osceola County Corrections. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, Judge, we can.
All right, thanks. May I have the Assistant Public Defender identify themselves, please?
Yes, Your Honor, Evelyn Jimenez, Assistant Public Defender.
Hello, Ms. Jimenez.
Good afternoon, Judge.
And our Assistant State Attorneys?
Vidya Budan and Sofia Buriel Sanchez for the state.
Thank you. And our pretrial release officer?
At the jail.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Jennifer Dunkirk is on behalf of pretrial release.
I missed it.
Jennifer Dunkirk.
Thanks, Officer Dunkirk. All right, welcome everyone. We're here for initial appearance. My name is Keith Carson. I'm one of the circuit judges here. My role in initial appearance is pretty limited. It's basically confined to making a determination as to whether the court feels there's probable cause for the arrest that has already happened. That's made solely from the charging instrument or the charging affidavit, making some assumptions that what is in there is true. After that, we're going to talk about getting an attorney on board for you. And finally, we'll talk about bond, if any, and the conditions of that bond that will get you back to your lives while these cases are pending, if appropriate. I know many of you may disagree with what's in your charging affidavits. I completely understand that. Today is really not the day for that discussion. You should save that discussion for your attorney once they're appointed and your trial judge, which is very unlikely to be me. We're going to go in order, and the first several cases I have are Spanish interpreter cases, so I'm going to get a Spanish interpreter on board.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. This is Rafael Barrera, State Certified Court Interpreter. I have been previously sworn.
Good afternoon, Mr. Barrera. We have some folks out at the Osceola County Jail for initial appearances. You'll be doing the interpreting over the intercom system. The first case that I have is Ramon Figueroa Rodriguez. The case number is 21 CF 2735.
Your Honor, the defense waives the reading of the charges. Ramon?
Thanks, Mr. Menes.
Su señoría, la defensa renuncia al derecho a leer cargos.
Good afternoon, Mr. Figueroa Rodriguez.
Buenas tardes, señor Figueroa Rodríguez.
I don't know if his microphone's on.
Yes, Your Honor, it is. Tiene que hablar poquito. Apparently the microphone is not working, Your Honor.
Hello? Gotcha. Right. Mr. Figueroa Rodriguez, you were arrested in 21 CF 2735 pursuant to Judge Bigney's warrant. It alleges 6 counts. Ms. Jimenez has told me that you are aware of what those counts are. Is that correct?
Señor Rodríguez, Figueroa Rodríguez, usted fue arrestado en el caso 21 CF 2735 mediante una orden de arresto emitida por la juez Bigney. Tiene 6 cargos. La licenciada Jiménez me indica que usted ya está consciente de qué tratan los cargos. ¿Eso es correcto?
Sí, su señoría.
Yes, Your Honor.
Judge Bigney has found probable cause for all 6 counts.
La juez Bigney determinó que existe motivo fundado en los 6 cargos.
Judge Bigney has issued no bond on counts 1 and 2, and you're going to remain on no bond.
La juez Bigney dijo que no tiene derecho a fianza en el primero y segundo cargo, por lo tanto, usted va a permanecer sin derecho a fianza.
As to count 3, you'll receive a bond in the amount of $2,500.
En el tercer cargo se le programa fianza de $2,500.
As to count 4, that is an allegation that has no bond. You'll remain on no bond.
El cuarto cargo es una alegación que no permite fianza, va a permanecer sin derecho a fianza en ese cargo.
As to count 5, you will receive a bond in the amount of $1,500.
En el quinto cargo será programada una fianza de $1,500.
As to count 6, you'll have a bond in the amount of $1,500.
Y en el sexto cargo una fianza programada de $1,500.
I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent your interests.
Vamos a asignar las oficinas del defensor público para que represente sus intereses.
Thank you. Yes.
Our understanding is that the defendant has a private attorney.
Su señoría, según entendemos nosotros, él tiene un abogado particular.
Mr. Figueroa Rodriguez, have you hired a private counsel?
Señor Figueroa Rodríguez, ¿usted ya ha contratado un abogado particular? Do I already have an attorney?
Victor Mead. M-E-A-D. Victor.
All right, thank you. I'm familiar with Mr. Mead.
Gracias, yo conozco al licenciado Mead.
Are we showing a notice of appearance at this point? Mr. Mead has not yet filed his notice of appearance, which will formally let the court know that he is representing you.
El licenciado Mead todavía no ha radicado su aviso de comparecencia en este caso que indica de manera formal de que lo va a representar a usted.
I'm sure that's forthcoming.
Estoy seguro que eso ya está pendiente.
I'm going to withdraw the appointment at this point of the Office of the Public Defender.
Por lo tanto, voy a retirar el asignamiento de las oficinas del defensor público.
If for whatever reason Mr. Mead is unable or does not file his paperwork with the court, we can bring you back and reconsider appointing the Office of the Public Defender for you.
Si por alguna razón el licenciado Mead no es capaz o no puede representarlo usted, regresaré a usted para ver si se puede tramitar una ayuda legal.
Thank you, sir.
Gracias, caballero.
Erica Garcia Soloranzo, 2021 CF 2953.
Buenas tardes.
And Your Honor, the interpreter can confirm the case number that was 21 CF 2953, Your Honor.
Correct.
Thank you, Judge.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Buenas tardes, señora.
Buenas tardes.
Good afternoon.
Ma'am, I am joined by an attorney here in court.
Aquí está presente una abogada aquí en la sala.
Good afternoon, counsel.
Good afternoon, Judge. Jose Rivas on behalf of Garcia Solorzano, Judge.
Buenas tardes, su señoría, licenciado José Rivas, representando a la señorita García Solorzano.
Thank you. Ms. Garcia Soloranzo, you were arrested based on an allegation of domestic battery by strangulation.
Señorita García Soloranzo, usted fue arrestada basada en una alegación de agresión doméstica, estrangulación.
Based on what's contained in the charging affidavit, I do find probable cause.
Basado en el contenido en el auto acusatorio, determino que existe motivo fundado.
Officer Dunkirk, does Ms. Garcia Soloranzo qualify for pretrial release?
Oficial Dunkirk, la señorita García Soloranzo reúne requisitos para la libertad provisional.
Unfortunately, no, Judge. She has immigration status issues. She's not legal. Also, just for the court's record, she has no criminal history here in the States. And I don't know if the victim is present over there. However, when I spoke to him this morning, he wishes to have contact and for her to return home.
Desafortunadamente no, ella tiene ciertas restricciones de inmigración porque su estado aquí no es legal. Para que conste en el acta del tribunal, ella no tiene antecedente penal. No sé si la víctima está allí presente con ustedes, pero cuando lo contactamos esta mañana indicó que deseaba contacto con la acusada y que ella regresara a la casa.
Mr. Rivas, do you anticipate any witnesses this afternoon?
Licenciado Rivas, ¿usted anticipa tener testigos esta tarde?
I do, Judge. I would like to call the alleged victim, Mr. Rafael Perez, and he's here, Judge.
Sí, señoría. I'm sorry, counsel, what was the name? Rafael Perez.
Rafael Perez.
Quisiera presentar al señor Rafael Pérez como testigo.
Hello. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
We're going to place you
Buenas
under oath.
tardes. Lo vamos a colocar bajo juramento.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm to testify the truth and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Perez. Good afternoon.
Buenas tardes, señor Pérez.
How do you know Ms. Garcia Solarzano?
¿Usted conoce a la señorita García Solarzano?
We knew each other in Philadelphia about a year ago now.
Nosotros nos conocemos desde Filadelfia, llevamos varios años saliendo juntos.
She is your girlfriend?
Yes.
¿Ella es tu novia? Sí.
You have a child in common with her?
Yes.
¿Tiene una niña en común con él? Sí.
You understand that we're here today because you'd like to ask this court to allow you to have non-hostile contact with her, is that correct?
Usted entiende que estamos aquí el día de hoy porque usted le quiere pedir al tribunal que le permita contacto sin hostilidad con ella, ¿verdad?
Yes.
Sí.
And you wish for her to return to the residence at 2585 De Soto Driveway?
¿Usted desea que ella regrese a la residencia de 2585 Tesoro?
Yes.
Sí.
Has there ever been any incident of domestic violence in the past during your relationship with her?
I'm sorry, Counselor, if you could kindly approach the microphone.
Has there ever been any history of domestic violence with Garcia Solarzo during your relationship?
Anteriormente había existido actos de violencia doméstica entre usted y la señorita García Soloranzo durante su relación.
No.
No.
Do you fear Ms. Garcia Solorzano?
¿Usted teme a la señorita García Soloranzo?
No.
No.
And do you own a cell phone?
¿Usted es dueño de un teléfono celular?
Yes.
Sí.
Do you promise this court in the event of any kind of hostile that you would contact the proper authority?
¿Usted le promete al tribunal que en caso de que exista algún tipo de acto hostil, usted contactará a las autoridades?
Yes.
Sí.
That's all I have, Judge.
Any questions from the state?
¿Alguna pregunta por parte de la Fiscalía?
Your Honor, no questions from the state. However, the state would like to request that the court issue a no contact and maintain separate residences at this time.
No, su señoría, no tenemos preguntas, pero le estamos pidiendo al tribunal que emita una orden prohibiéndole contacto y que no pueda regresar a la residencia en este momento.
And what is that request based on?
¿Y en qué se basa esa petición suya?
Your Honor, based on the nature of the charges, how recent the incident occurred until the state can look further into their history, and based on the victim's statement at the scene that he was not able to breathe when the defendant had put her hands around his neck, and if he wasn't able to gain control of her, it could have possibly went further. So until the state can look further into
Su
this.
señoría, debido a la naturaleza de este cargo y lo tan reciente que sucedió, la Fiscalía quisiera investigar un poco más profundo el historial de estas personas. En la declaración de la víctima en la escena de los acontecimientos indicó que él no podía respirar y si él no llega a controlar la situación pudiera haber empeorado.
Also, because it seems like the incident occurred while their child was present, Your Honor, and in order for the state to look further into their history, Your Honor, at this time, the state would request no contact and maintain separate residences.
Y para mí parece que este incidente sucedió mientras que la criatura estuvo presente, y para dar una oportunidad a la Fiscalía a investigar con un poco más de profundidad este incidente, estamos pidiendo que usted emita una orden prohibiéndole el regreso a la casa y prohibiéndole el contacto.
State is rightfully concerned about how the event allegedly occurred.
La Fiscalía tiene un temor bien fundado referente a cómo tomaron lugar los acontecimientos.
Mr. Perez, do you have any concerns regarding your 2-month-old child that you share custody with Ms. Garcia Soloranzo?
Señor Pérez, ¿tiene usted alguna inquietud o preocupación sobre la criatura de 2 meses que usted comparte con la señorita García Soloranzo?
No, sir.
No, señor.
Sure. Sir, you're in the best possible position to gauge whether you are in fear of Ms. Garcia.
Señor, usted se encuentra en la mejor posición para determinar si usted teme a la señorita García.
Based on your sworn responses, the court is going to allow you to have no hostile contact with Ms. Garcia.
Debido y basado a su testimonio juramentado, el tribunal le va a permitir a usted a tener contacto sin hostilidad con la señorita García.
Ms. Garcia, no hostile contact means exactly what it sounds like.
Señorita García, sin hostilidad es igual como parece.
You may not put your hands on him without his permission.
No lo puede tocar, ponerle las manos encima sin que él le dé permiso.
No loud fights, no getting in each other's faces.
No pueden haber peleas con voces alzadas. No deben enfrentarse uno al otro.
No hostile contact over social media.
No puede existir contacto hostil usando las redes sociales.
Court is going to allow you to return into the family home.
El tribunal le va a permitir que usted regrese al hogar familiar.
There will be a $1,000 bond assessed in your case.
Habrá una fianza de $1,000 programado en su caso.
With those conditions as previously announced.
Como esas condiciones que yo le acabo de indicar.
Thank you.
Muchas gracias.
That's all I have. Mr. Rios. One more case, Mr. Interpreter. Thank you. It is that the last of the case?
As far as I know.
Oh, okay. I think that may have been the last of the cases that we need your assistance. Ms. Jimenez, do we have another?
Yes, Your Honor, we have Melania Ventura.
The pink one here. Isn't that one?
Melania Ventura.
The last one on the.
All right, thanks. We do have one additional case, Mr. Interpreter. It's 21 CF 2957, Melania Ventura.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, the defense will be waiving the reading of the charges.
Thank you.
Su señoría, la defensa va a excusar que se lean los cargos.
She's on the box, she will be brought.
Understood.
Ella está atrás, la vamos a traer en un momento.
Good afternoon, Ms. Ventura.
Buenas tardes, señorita Ventura.
Ms. Ventura, I have read the charging affidavit in your case.
Señorita Ventura, he revisado el auto acusatorio en su caso.
Your attorney has let me know that you are aware of what the allegations are against you.
Su abogada me ha indicado que usted está consciente de las alegaciones en contra suya.
The court finds probable cause in count 1 for an attempt.
El tribunal determina que existe motivo fundado en el primer cargo por un intento.
Court finds probable cause for count 2.
El tribunal determina que existe motivo fundado en el segundo cargo.
I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you.
El tribunal asigna las oficinas del defensor público para que les representen.
As to count 1, you'll remain on no bond.
En el primer cargo no tiene derecho a fianza.
As to count 2, you will receive a bond in the amount of $7,500.
La fianza en el segundo cargo está programada en $7,500.
As a condition of any bond, you're to have no contact whatsoever with Jose Roldan.
Como condición de cualquier fianza, no se le permitirá contacto en absoluto con José Roldán.
You're not to return to the location where this is alleged to have occurred.
No se le permitirá a usted regresar al lugar de los acontecimientos.
That will conclude our hearing.
Eso concluye la vista.
Mr. Barrera, thank you very much for your assistance.
You're welcome, Your Honor. Have a good afternoon.
You as well. Marissa Diaz. I had this as out of county, but it's not.
Judge, I believe that this was an over-the-line arrest.
Gotcha. Okay. Was she evaluated for pretrial release?
No, Judge, we don't do any out-of-counties for pretrial release. This is construed as a Orange County case.
Okay.
How they disseminated it to the clerk. I spoke with Ms. Salinas this morning in regards to this case and how the affidavit shows. But I believe this started in Orange County and they arrested him in Osceola County for that offense in Orange County. Therefore, it makes it an Orange County case.
Okay. Shall we transfer this or do we IA them here?
We do IA them here as an out-of-county.
Am I to consider bond or?
I would leave it up to the judges, your discretion.
All right, Ms. Diaz, your case got to us a little unusually. I am going to find probable cause for the allegation in which you were arrested. That is an allegation of battery, domestic violence related. I am inclined to consider a bond in this case. State, do we know if there's any prior criminal history regarding Ms. Diaz?
A moment, Your Honor, I can check. Let's see. Ten 28/2001.
Judge, if you want to put her to the end of the docket, we can run her history really quick.
Yeah, that helped me, Ms. Dunkirk. It's going to make a difference as to what bond I consider. State?
Your Honor, state only sees this incident.
Okay. Ms. Diaz, I'm going to call you in a minute, allow pretrial release to run a quick check on you, and then I am going to consider a bond in your case. It's just what conditions.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. We'll recall you in just a minute.
And Your Honor, the jail is asking me if the court can call Deborah Krishner after, so we can handle her case first.
They want her called now or at the end?
No, now.
Now, okay. Deborah Kirshner, excuse me. Good afternoon, Ms. Kirshner.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Ms. Kirshner, you were arrested based on an allegation of trespass in an occupied structure or conveyance. I've read the charging affidavit. I do find probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you, and I'm going to set a bond in the amount of $150.
Your Honor, if we may be heard, the client has been found incompetent in Brevard County on case 20 CT 54432 as of June 10, 2021. And we'll be asking the court to take that into consideration and lowering the bond amount or setting it a mental health release.
Your Honor,
Yes.
may I also interject that I called your sheriff's department, Osceola. They wanted me to come there.
I'm happy to hear you out, but your attorney is probably advising you not to talk to me about the facts of the case. I won't be your trial judge anyway, so you can save that argument for them. I'm going to impose either mental health pretrial release if you qualify, or the bond will be $150.
I think I do call
Also, for the court's record, there is a Baker Act hold for Ms. Kirschner.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So it's bond or mental health.
Pretrial.
TR.
Judge, she doesn't qualify due to the Baker Act hold.
Okay,
So it's only bond.
so I guess it will be the bond.
And any other conditions? No return or anything?
She already can't return.
Carl Wesley Caudale? Good afternoon, Mr. Caudale.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Caudale, I've read, well, you're here based on 2 bench warrants, and the first is an allegation that you missed arraignment in front of Judge Epperson. The second is that you missed arraignment in front of Judge Jan Savage. The first case number is 21MM2530. The second case number is 21MM1753. You have a bond in both cases. In 21MM2530, you have a bond in the amount of $250. As to 21MM1753, you have a bond in the amount of $2,000. And since you're incarcerated, I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender on both cases if they weren't previously appointed.
I can't finish this court case today or get through it.
I'm not.
Legal name. My name's Adam Carter legally. Everything's supposed to be paid for. I have all my legalities still.
All right, fair enough. These are bench warrants for failing to appear at arraignment for 2 new law offenses. The first being, I guess, a drug-related offense, and the second being an allegation of, I'm not sure if I can tell. I can't tell what the second law offense was, but
Petty theft.
I've appointed the Office of the Public Defender. Yes, ma'am?
Sorry, Your Honor, I was just letting you, I see that it's for petty theft.
Okay, the second allegation is petty theft. So those cases are pending. They may be new cases that you may be unaware of. I've appointed the Office of the Public Defender. They can walk through the next steps for you. Thanks.
Your Honor, the jail personnel is asking me if we can call Miguel Gonzalez. He's on the second page on the resets.
Sure. All right, thanks, Miguel Gonzalez.
Approach him. He's in the cage, Judge.
No problem.
Here now before you comes,
Good afternoon, Mr. Gonzalez.
here now come before you, not the corporate fiction, the real living man, by way of special appearance, representing Miguel Gonzalez. I now impose common law jurisdiction, imposing all of my rights, waiving none, sir.
You done, Mr. Gonzalez?
According to Uniform Commercial Code 1-308, I impose all of my rights, sir.
Fair enough. My role in this process is to make a determination as to probable cause. I find probable cause for the allegations of battery, domestic violence related, resisting an officer without violence, operating a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license.
Sir, it was a husbandry vessel.
And I think those are the 3 allegations. I am going to appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. I am going to
Sir,
set.
that is not necessary. I represent myself in all matters.
All right, you're not requesting the services of the Public Defender's Office at this time?
No, sir. And you find improbable cause is you operating an ultra vires, sir. There was no probable cause.
Your bond is set in the amount of $1,500. You're to have no contact.
In which case, I'm sorry.
$1,500 is to count one, $500 as to the resisting an officer without violence, $250 as to the operating a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. Mr. Gonzalez is not to have any contact with Ashley Renee Prelowitz and may not return to the scene where this occurred, and they may not cohabitate. Mr. Gonzalez, you can petition your trial court for an amendment should you feel that's
I would like to put in a
necessary.
motion for speedy trial at this moment. Orally, this is my oral motion for speedy trial.
All right, you'll be afforded speedy trial, Mr. Gonzalez. That represents to the court on a demand for speedy trial that you're ready for trial, so.
I am ready for trial.
Your Honor, state would just request that it be put on the record that he is to not drive if he is out on bond and to have no alcohol. It seems that alcohol was a factor in this incident too.
Court will impose the condition that he is not to consume any alcohol, and I will leave it in the state's discretion as to whether this is a knowing and voluntary demand for speedy trial. I'll note for the record that.
This is a knowing and willing voluntary request for speedy trial, sir. I represent myself in all matters.
All right, thanks. Your trial attorneys, or your trial judge is going to have a detailed conversation with you.
I also impose common law jurisdiction. As per my Uniform Commercial Code, Addendum 1 through 9, those are my rights, sir. I impose common law jurisdiction. I impose natural law.
All your statements are on the record. Have a good day.
Judge, did you order no driving without a valid driver's license?
Yeah, have the charges been filed?
The charges? No.
No. I don't know. You may want to put in the court notes that defendant is requesting a Feretta inquiry regarding representing himself.
Yes.
John Davis? Good afternoon, Mr. Davis.
How you doing, Your Honor?
I'm doing all right. Thanks for asking. Judge Strobridge issued a warrant for you alleging one count of sale of cocaine within 1,000 feet of a specified area. She has previously found probable cause. She did set a bond. Your bond's set in the amount of $5,000, and I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent your interests. Thanks.
Judge, are you going to also impose the no return to the scene, no alcohol or drugs as specified on the warrant?
Sure. Judge Strobridge also imposed conditions of bond that you not return to the scene where you were arrested and that you possess no drugs or alcohol. Thanks. Cassandra Helms.
Yes, sir. How are you?
Good afternoon, Ms. Helms. Doing pretty good, thanks.
I had a bond, and they reinstated my bond because I had proved paperwork to where I had been exposed to COVID, and I went to the hospital, and I had actually sent it to my judge, and then they reissued my bond, but then they still put a bench warrant out for me, and I don't understand that. And then also it was my plea. So is there?
Okay. Hold on just a sec. I want to hear you out, Ms. Helms, but I want to advise you as to why you're here with us. It sounds like you know there was a bench warrant issued by Judge Young. It's alleged that you failed to appear for pretrial on this case, and that case is 2021 CF 1476. Ms. Jimenez, is she a current client of the Office of the Public Defender?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Can I sign my plea today?
I don't know a thing about your plea or what the agreements were. All I know is that you were issued a warrant for failing to appear. I don't know if we see any notes regarding any correspondence with Judge Young on this case.
No.
We don't have anything in the court file. But you can get in front of Judge Young pretty quick. They'll get you over there, and he may be very happy to accept your plea.
Okay, is there any way that I can have a bond? I mean, my bond reinstated, because it said my bond was reinstated, but there was still a warrant. I don't understand that. It said that there was a capias put out, but then they issued a reinstatement of my bond.
Yeah, we're looking in.
This is the warrant recall
So I don't understand it,
was done by
because
error.
I had,
Okay. Sounds like,
It was an error when they recalled it.
yeah, it sounds like the court record is reflecting that the bond was recalled in error. I don't know what that means because I wasn't there, and I think only Judge Young's going to be able to sort this out. Ms. Jimenez can get you in front of Judge Young, or you're assigned assistant public defender pretty quick, and we'll sort this out.
do you know how long that would take?
I don't. Does she have any court dates?
10/27.
We're showing a court date on 10/27 at the latest, but I suspect you'll see Judge Young before then.
Okay, so before then,
Yes, ma'am.
okay, so I have no bond.
He issued no bond, and I'm not in a position to change that for you. Thanks.
Okay. So, okay, thank you.
Good luck. Joel Kendrick.
Yeah. Joel Kendrick.
Your Honor, the defense would like to waive the appearance of the defendant.
Okay. Is he already a client of the Office of the Public Defender?
I'm not aware, Your Honor, but he was not feeling well.
He is.
Okay. Sounds like he's already appointed.
Thank you.
All right. The court will accept the waiver of his appearance at initial appearance. He was arrested on 2 bench warrants from Judge Draper. They've been out for a while. In 2018. Judge Draper issued a bond on each of the cases for the allegations being failing to appear for pretrial back on October 16th, 2018. Gosh, that's almost, 3 years ago? Bond is set in the amount of $10,999 as to each case. Thanks. Jeremiah Ledesma.
Your Honor, may I have a moment?
Yeah, sure.
Sorry, Your Honor.
No problem. Good afternoon, Mr. Ledesma.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Ledesma, you are here with us based on a bench warrant. Judge Young issued a warrant for you. It's alleged that you failed to appear for arraignment in 2021 CF 1599. That would have occurred last week sometime. He issued no bond. You're going to remain on no bond until you can get in front of him. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent your interests, and they can get you in front of Judge Young and see if anything can get worked out as to a bond.
Wait, excuse me, I'm sorry. Can you repeat that? It was like noise. I didn't hear.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. So Judge Young issued no bond. You're going to stay on no bond until your PD can get you over in front of Judge Young. You can let him know what was going on for arraignment, and maybe he'll consider issuing a bond for you. But that needs to be done in front of Judge Young.
Okay, do you know what what time could that be?
Let me ask and see if you've got any court dates already.
Yes, it's set for arraignment on October 15 at 8:45 a.m.
At the latest, you're going to be back in front of Judge Young on the 15th.
Okay. That's like that's next week?
Next week, yes.
Yep. Yep. So talk to your public defender. They may be able to get you over there by the end of the week.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Michael Perea Matamoros.
He's in the box, Your Honor. Your Honor, at this time, the defense wishes to waive the reading of the charges.
No problem. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, you were arrested based on a direct information. That direct information alleges 4 counts, of which I am told you are aware. Counts 1 and 2 do not have any bond. You're going to remain on no bond as to counts 1 and 2. Count 3 does qualify for a $5,000 bond, and count 4 qualifies for a $10,000 bond, and I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Judge, are you going to also impose the warrant conditions, no contact with victim, maintain separate residence, no return to the residence and/or to scene, do not possess any alcohol, illegal drugs, or controlled substances without a prescription?
Yeah, as initially contemplated by Judge Young, no contact with the victim, maintain separate residences, do not return to the scene of the offense, and may not possess or consume any alcohol, illegal drugs, or controlled substances without a valid prescription. Thanks. Sean Phillips. Ms. Jimenez, do we have Sean Phillips?
Your Honor, my understanding is that he's appointed to the Public Defender's Office. He's detoxing.
Okay.
He was brought here, but he asked me to waive his appearances.
Okay.
So it's up to the court.
I'll accept his waiver of appearance. He's here on a bench warrant for failing to appear at a plea date certain. Judge Nix Walker issued no bond. He'll remain on no bond until you can get him in front of her. Thanks.
Thank you.
John Torres Colon. Good afternoon, Mr. Torres Colon.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Sir, I issued a warrant for your arrest for failing to appear at arraignment in 2021 CF 1792. Ms. Jimenez, is Mr. Torres Colon already a client?
I am not aware in his.
He has a private attorney.
Mr. Torres Colon, do you have an attorney on this case?
I believe so.
Do you remember their name?
Mr. Brian Birdman or Birdman.
Mr. Bird had called our office, asked to appear remotely. I don't have the ability to do that today, but he has been in contact with our office, and he is aware of your situation. If you talk to Mr. Bird, you can let him know that I have some time available this week to consider a bond, and you and he can let me know what's going on.
There is a.
Sir, the thing
Hold on just a sec. We may already have a hearing set.
On 10/14, it was for bond.
All right. I'm going to see you on the 14th.
I could not say no more, sir.
I said I'm going to see you on the 14th already.
Okay, thank you, sir. The
Yes.
thing was, I changed my address. I mean, they didn't have the right address. They had the address that they bailed me out with, and they didn't put the address on my ID.
Okay. Well, it's your responsibility to put your address on your ID, but I'm going to hear you out. Mr. Bird's already set the motion, and they're going to bring you in front of me no later than the 14th.
Your Honor, I accept that. The thing was that I gave them the ID, but they didn't put the address on my ID. They put the address, I guess the bail bond, when they bailed me out, they put that address. I gave them the right address. That wasn't my fault.
Okay. I'm going to take a closer look at it when we see each other. I also have the motion sitting on my desk, so I'll take another look, see if the state objects to the request. If they don't, I can perhaps rule on it before the 14th. At the latest, though, by the 14th, we'll have a detailed discussion.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. John Randolph? Hey, good afternoon, Mr. Randolph.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Mr. Randolph, I issued a warrant for you. The allegations from your probation officers that you violated probation in 2020 CT 2853. The allegations being you got behind on some costs, that you left the county without letting them know, that Apparently there was a allegation of possessing a controlled substance, failing to comply with the probation officer's instructions, and failing to complete 50 hours of community service. I don't know if the public defender is already on this case. Ms. Jimenez?
I'm not aware of that information, Your Honor.
I do have.
He had an
He's
attorney.
stating that he does have a public defender.
He had, Self,
Yes, Your Honor, he does have a public defender appointed.
Eben.
Yeah, I remember Mr. Self coming in. He may not represent you on the violation of probation. You or your family need to reach out to Mr. Self and see if he's representing you on the VOP. Do you want me to appoint the Office of the Public Defender in the meantime, or do you want to contact Mr. Self?
Mr. Self is not representing me on this charge. I've already been appointed a public defender.
Okay. All right, then the PD is on board, and they know how to get you in front of me if you wish for me to consider a bond.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thanks. Joshua Smith? Good afternoon, Mr. Smith.
How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Smith, you were arrested based on a warrant. Judge Strobridge found probable cause for selling cocaine within 1,000 feet of a specified area. She has issued a bond in your case. Your bond is set in the amount of $5,000 with the special conditions that you not return to the scene and you possess no drugs or alcohol. And I'll get the public defender's office on board to represent your interests.
Hey, sir, I'm innocent.
Okay.
I'm like, no, like for real, like I don't sell drugs. Sir, I need to talk. I want to talk though. I do
Your Honor,
drugs.
Can we have 1 second?
I don't. Sir, I just wanted the prosecutor to know, like, I don't know what happened. I don't know what situation occurred. Like, I got arrested for a grand theft auto of a car I never stole. And now I'm getting charged for selling drugs, and I don't sell drugs. I feel like I'm going crazy, but I'm not crazy. But I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did to, this is my hometown. I don't know what I did, but I did not sell no drugs here. And likewise, I did not steal no car. And I don't know, I got Baker acted in Park Place. Like, you know, I got a big history that DCF closed my case when I turned 18.
Yes,
but
sir.
I came to my hometown. I'm not selling no drugs here because I do drugs. I don't have any money. I don't have no money for drugs. I don't have no money to sell the drugs. I didn't steal no car. So I'm just trying to figure out why these charges keep occurring to me like over and over. And all I've been doing really is just trying to stay out of trouble. I just got out of prison. I'm really trying to stay out of trouble, Your Honor. I'm trying to get the prosecutor to know this because I don't know why these charges keep occurring. Like, I have a warrant for my arrest and I've been locked up for almost 2 months, but now this warrant's dropping. So I just don't know what I'm doing. Like, I've been in prison like over 10, 11 years. I'm tired of being arrested. I'm tired of being locked up. I'm not trying to catch cases. I'm just trying to figure out why these cases just keep popping up on me. Like literally, Your Honor, I'm just trying to get the point across. Like, Your Honor, I was intoxicated and I pull up on the scene. There's a car with keys in the car, and then the police just pull up and say I'm driving the car. And then, and then they say I'm selling drugs now. Now I'm a drug dealer. How am I a drug dealer in this town? I don't know anybody like that. I just moved here. Who am I selling drugs to in 1,000 feet of a church? That's a felony 1. That's even more of my life. I'm not trying to risk my life. So I don't know why, what am I doing wrong? I don't know. Like, I just want to let the prosecutor know this stuff. Like, I'm not doing nothing out there, man. Like, why do I have a sales charge right now, Your Honor? Like, I just don't get this.
Yeah, Mr. Smith, I hear you. I hear your frustration. I don't know a thing about the allegation of the stolen vehicle. That's not before me today. What is alleged is selling cocaine within 1,000 feet of a specified area. I'm just telling you what's on the charging affidavit, which you will read, indicates that it alleges that you sold 0.1 grams of cocaine for $20 to a detective. So that's all I got. I find probable cause for the allegation based on what's in the charging affidavit. If there's a defense to that, you can raise that in front of the trial judge, and there very well may be, and I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to help you.
Your Honor, I understand. Your Honor,
hold on just a sec, Mr. Smith. I'll hear you out, but please understand, Ms. Jimenez is trying to help you. If you make us,
I understand, sir, but I'm just trying to get this point across that there's people in Kissimmee, Florida, selling real drugs. There's people doing real crimes here. There's child trafficking here. There's prostitution going on here, and they're doing drug busts for $20. They're doing drug busts for $20, right? And I don't understand. Like, there's drug holes all around Kissimmee, Florida, and that they can do numerous more numbers than that. And the detectives are setting up homeless, broke people for $20 for a sales charge. And there's plenty of people with bigger amounts of money doing bigger things in this town. Just do a better job. That's all I'm saying.
I hear you, Mr. Smith.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
No worries. That's what I'm here for, is to hear you out. I understand my role in this process is pretty limited today, but I'm sure your trial judge will consider some of those arguments.
Yes, sir.
All right. Carlos Montalvo Garcia. Good afternoon, sir. Sir, you're here in 2021 CF 2954. I have read the charging affidavit, and I do find probable cause for the allegation of aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent your interests. You do have a witness present. Ma'am, can you tell me your name, please?
Shelley Olmeda.
Thank you, Ms. Olmeda. We're going to place you under oath.
Do you solemnly swear oath to tell the truth and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Ms. Olmeda, I'm going to be making some determinations as to a bond and conditions of bond, and you have every right to let me know your thoughts in making that decision. Do you wish to give me some information?
Yes, I do.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to start out at the beginning. This situation shouldn't even be like this, okay? He was just out of control, okay? He's an alcoholic. He's out of control. He wanted some money to go buy some beer. I wasn't giving him no money. I worked hard, okay?
This is only for the matter of the bond or no contact or hostile contact, not going
Okay.
to the fact
All right.
of the case.
So,
Can I finish? Can I finish?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I got up at 8:30 this morning, went to the DA, okay? I called the non-emergency, okay, because he was throwing things. He threw a chicken at me, okay? A chicken. Okay, I'm not afraid of him. I don't feel my life is threatened. I called the non-emergency. When I called the non-emergency, it kind of switched me over, like I couldn't contact nobody. I had to call 911. All I wanted was the police to tell him. I asked him to leave. He just kept arguing with me. All I wanted was the police to come and tell him, listen, you either leave the house or you go to jail. Okay, that wasn't an option. He finally left. They got him at the corner of the house, okay, at the side of the road. The lady came in. I didn't want to press charges. I didn't write a report. She says, we're going to arrest him for battery. Okay, I'm okay with that, okay? But then when I find out battery with a deadly weapon, that's a bigger charge. Okay, he should be more afraid of me than I should be of him. We've been together 6 years, same place, 6 years. This never, ever, ever happened. I've never called the police on him. I just wanted him out of the house. Next time, I'll just leave myself and go to my son's house. Or I'll just give him the $10 to go buy the beer, because I had the $10, but you know what? That's my money. You follow me? I don't think he's going to do this again. I really don't. And if it does happen, I'm not calling the police, because I can deal with my own situation, you know, and I understand there's other girls.
hold on just a sec. Let the attorney do her work.
Okay, I apologize.
Jimenez?
The defense is objecting. We're talking about the facts of the case, not regarding release.
Understood. And understood that understand that the state attorneys are in here. They've heard your statements. I'm going to kind of direct you a little bit back towards whether you wish to have contact with Mr. Montalvo Garcia and whether you guys live together. So you do live together?
Yeah, we've been together for 6 years. This has never happened. If I knew that I was going to be in this situation right here, I would never have called the police. I'll never call them again. And no offense to you, because I know there's women out there that are scared, that do get killed. I'm not in that situation. I will not put myself in that situation. The next time he want to act out, which I don't think that he will, because I think he's pretty scared and he knows my limitations. So, I'll just leave my own and go live with my son. But when I'm gone, I'm the hand that feeds them, you know?
Understand,
I
I'm
put
a
the-
neutral party in this. I don't represent the Office of the State Attorney's Office. I don't represent the Public Defender's Office. I don't,
No, but to make it so that we don't, okay, we had an argument last night, we got in a big fight, whatever, you know what I mean? But to punish me and tell me I can't have contact with him, that's punishing me too. You know, I understand their point, because they want to go for my safety.
Right.
This has never happened.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
let me ask some specific questions then for you. Do you wish to, you understand that no contact affords you the most protection that
I'm not afraid of him.
I understand. Let me finish.
Okay, I'm sorry.
There is a second option, which would be that he is allowed to have non-hostile contact with you. What that would mean is you guys are back on the honor system, and it would require you, if you felt like you were in fear, to contact law enforcement or some help or remove yourself from the situation, should that be your decision in evaluating your own safety. Do you wish for me to impose no contact, or would you like to have non-hostile contact with Mr. Montalvo Garcia?
Non-hostile is fine.
Okay. Do you have,
Because he shouldn't be like that anyways.
do you have a means of communication?
Do we, me and him?
You have a means of communication. Do you have a cell phone?
Yeah, of course.
All right. So you got a working cell phone right now?
Sure.
Any children in the home?
No.
All right. Any other people in the house?
No.
All right. Thank you. And if the court allowed you to have non-hostile contact with Mr. Montalvo Garcia, are you in fear of further acts of, or alleged acts of domestic violence?
No. I think he learned his lesson.
All right. Thank you. And has there been any acts of domestic violence in the past?
No, not with him, no.
All right, thank you. Now, the State Attorney's Office and the Public Defender's Office is going to have a chance to answer ask you some questions about your testimony. State, any questions for
Yes, Your Honor.
the witness, Ms. Olmeda?
Ms. Olmeda, do you have friends or family close by?
Yeah, my son. My son and my friend, she lives 2 houses down.
Okay.
My coworker.
And does Mr. Montalvo Garcia have any friends or family close by?
No, ma'am. He has his mom that lives in Orlando.
Okay, are there any weapons in
No,
the
they're not
home?
allowed.
Any guns in the home?
No, they're not allowed. I don't like guns. I'm afraid of guns. They're not allowed.
Okay. So if the court were to impose for you and Mr. Montalvo to maintain separate residences at this time, do you have somewhere else to stay? Or does he have somewhere else to stay?
No, we've been together 6 years. We built a home together. I have my own, I have my own car, my house, whatever. We've built a life together. This was an incident that I called the police to just tell him, you know what, you need to come down, you need to go for a drive, whatever. I was asking him, but of course he's not going to listen to me, but of course he'll listen to the police, but that's not the situation that happened. They arrested him, they brought him to jail. It won't happen again, I guarantee you that.
Okay.
I know how to
Ms.
protect myself.
Thank you, Ms. Olmeda. Your Honor, at this time, based on how recent the incident is, the facts of the case, the state will still ask for the court to impose no contact and for victim and defendant to maintain separate residences. Also, the court would ask that the defendant has, if he is released, no alcohol, no drugs. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Do you have any questions of the witness, Ms. Jimenez?
Yes, Your Honor, briefly. Ms. Olmeda, this is a yes or no question. Do you want Mr. Montalvo Garcia to return home with you?
Yes, I do.
If something were to happen, will you call 911 if your life is in danger?
I don't feel my life is going to be in danger.
Okay, but in the...
He's never put his hands on me. He just threw a
Ms.
chicken.
Olmeda, in the hypothetical scenario where you
Okay, if I felt my life was in danger, I would either remove myself or call 911.
do you want
I'd probably remove myself first. I can remove myself, trust me.
do you want to have non-hostile contact with Mr. Montalvo Garcia?
If that's the only option I have.
Well, it's no contact.
Or hostile, so I'll take the hostile, non-hostile.
Do you understand what not hostile contact means?
Yes, I do.
Do you know?
He cannot be ugly with me. He cannot yell at me. He can't, I know what that means.
And this is your request to a court, to have Mr. Montalvo Garcia return home?
Yes,
For
ma'am.
you to have no hostile contact with him?
Yes, ma'am.
I have nothing further, Your Honor.
Officer Dunkirk, are you showing any appreciable criminal history?
Judge, he's got aggravated battery. His last conviction was 1994, but the majority of that was battery and a Willis. So the last conviction was 94, Judge. And he does meet the criteria for bond with pretrial release.
Okay. Ms. Almeida, you have come into court, you have subjected yourself to the questioning by the court, the questioning by the state attorney's office, questioning by the defense. You have unequivocally requested contact and indicated to the court that you are not in fear of Mr. Montalvo Garcia and that you wish to have him return home. I'm not going to substitute my judgment for yours. You're in the best possible position to make a determination as to whether you feel that contact is warranted and whether you are in fear of Mr. Montalvo Garcia. Court is going to issue a bond in this case in the amount of $1,500 plus pretrial release conditions. Those pretrial release conditions are that he is to have no hostile contact with you, Mr. Montalvo Garcia. That is exactly what I have previously explained. No putting your hands on her, no without her permission, no loud verbal arguments, no smashing up anything in the house, anything like that. You understand? Your microphone's off, but I can see your head acknowledging in the affirmative.
You're talking to me? Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm talking to you. Yeah. Okay. And based on the risk assessment being low, based on the prior allegations being extremely remote in this case, the court is going to allow Mr. Montalvo Garcia to return to the family home with the special condition that he have no hostile contact. The court's going to add a condition. Mr. Montalvo Garcia, you are not to possess any illegal substances. You are not to consume any illegal substances. You are not to consume any alcohol as a condition of your bond. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. No problem.
So, consuming alcohol, consuming drugs, or a hostile contact with the victim would be considered by this court as an egregious violation of your conditions of bond, and you could find yourself back in jail.
Okay, so if I drink again, I go into the strip club.
All right. Do we have court dates yet? I don't have any additional court dates for you, Mr. Montalvo Garcia. Any other requested conditions of bond? I think a standard condition of bond is no firearms or weapons, so I'll impose that as well. Thank you for attending court, Ms. Holman.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for hearing me. I don't know, I'm not new. How do I go about bonding him out?
There's a couple options. You can go down to the jail and post a cash bond, or you can talk to some bondsmen.
Talk to a bondsman? There's one right there on Simpson Road, right?
I'm not going to endorse any particular bondsman.
No, but that's the only one that I know of. Is it still there?
Find a bondsman of your choice, and they'll explain to you what the options are.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Damari Smith. Good afternoon, Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith, you are also here on an allegation of battery domestic violence related. I have read the charging affidavit, and I do find probable cause for your initial arrest. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent your interests in this matter. You as well have a witness present. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, sir.
Ma'am, can you tell me your name, please?
Janelle Daniels.
Thank you, Ms. Daniels. We're going to place you under oath.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Ms. Daniels, I'm going to be making some determinations as to conditions of bond regarding Mr. Smith. Do you wish to be heard as to the making that decision?
Yes, sir.
All right, what information would you like me to have?
This is not the first incident. I have 3 children, one in common with Mr. Smith. He's put my children and myself in danger several times. I'm scared of Mr. Smith. He does carry firearms. He's threatened to shoot me before we were mandated to talk through talking parents. I'm sorry. to talk through Talking Parents app, and he's very belligerent on a regular basis. This last incident, there's also a video that will show exactly what happened.
All right, thank you. So I am gathering from your statements you do not wish to have contact with Mr. Smith, is that correct?
Absolutely none.
All right, thank you. Do you cohabitate with Mr. Smith? Do you live together?
No, sir.
All right, thank you. Going to ask the state whether they have any questions for you. State, do you have any questions for Ms. Daniels?
Ms. Daniels, how far do you live from Mr. Smith?
Approximately an hour.
Okay. And you said that there were previous incidents similar to what occurred?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you reported those incidents in the past?
Yes.
And those incidents, were they in Osceola County?
Yes.
Okay. How recent was the most, other than this incident, how recent was the other incident?
Your Honor, we will be objecting as to relevance for the conditions of release of this case.
Overruled.
You can answer.
The last incident was approximately November of last year.
Thank you. No further questions, Your Honor. At this time, state would request no contact, no return, maintain separate residence. Also, state would request a high bond based on the witness's testimony and how recent the last incident was. Also, testimony about the defendant having firearms, weapons, and the victim, Ms. Daniels, being afraid for her life.
Thank you. Ms. Jimenez, do you have any questions for Ms. Daniels?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Your Honor, may I also add one thing?
Yes, ma'am.
This incident occurred at my daughter's school. May I ask that for now, he is not allowed to come to the school?
I will consider a no return to the scene where this occurred, and that did occur at the school. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks. Is there anything through the court system that establish co-parenting or visitation?
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks. Is that through our domestic courts here in Osceola County?
Yes, sir.
Is that memorialized in writing?
Yes.
Okay. All right, thank you. Are there any family members between you two that could assist in visitation should the family court determine that should continue as it has?
At the time, no. I've spoken with my attorney, so he can get in contact with his attorney so we can try to maybe do like an exchange at the sheriff's office so I don't have to come in contact with him.
Understood. Okay, and that's going to be handled through the domestic courts?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Ms. Daniels.
Your Honor, the defense wants to argue based on the information on the charge and affidavit. It was his day to pick up the child. He is asking for visitation rights or making arrangements through a third party or some other way. But it was his day, according to that written order from the court, stating that he could pick up his child. So at this time, we're asking for visitation rights.
I read the affidavit, and I'm aware of what the initial disagreement was. Apparently, it's alleged that turned physical. I have found probable cause for that. I'm not going to impede or get in the domestic court's way. They can consider any reasonable requests at that time. They apparently are both represented by counsel, and they can hash out the continued visitation of the children. So I'm not going to take any action denying visitation. I'll leave that within the capable hands of the domestic court. As to the allegations of battery, domestic violence, the court is going to impose a bond in the amount of $1,000 with mental health pretrial release, or if he is not qualified for mental health pretrial release, PTR with mental health conditions. He is to have no contact with Ms. Daniels. He is not to return to the scene where this occurred until the situation gets sorted out. And he is to maintain separate residences from Ms. Daniels. A standard condition of any bond is that Mr. Smith may not possess any weapons or firearms. So if there's any weapons or firearms in his possession or in his home, that would be an egregious violation of any condition of bond. And I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender if I have not previously appointed them. So,
Can we have a moment, Your Honor?
of course.
That's it, Your Honor. Thank you, sorry.
All right, thank you very much. That'll conclude our hearing. Alejandro Brown.
Sorry, Your Honor.
Good day, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown, you are here before us on a traffic ordinance violation. Traffic ordinance violations for being out in the street. It's alleged that you were out there in traffic with a styrofoam cup. I think I saw you. I drove right by you. Mr. Brown, I do find probable cause for that allegation. You're going to have a bond in this case, and that's a bond in the amount of $250. You're out on bond on 20 MM 2705. That's an allegation of petty theft and resisting an officer without violence. And you have a couple of felony cases from 2019 that are pending. You have a status hearing coming up on the 27th. Can you tell me who that's in front of?
On which case? Because I don't have that information, Judge.
2019 CF 617.
Uh, 2019 67?
Yes, 617.
Judge, I know for the case that he is out, the 20 MM 2705, the case he's out on ROR is with Judge Epperson.
All right, thanks. Trying to find out the felony allegations.
Yeah, you said 19?
CF 617.
617, okay, 617. I had it all. There we go.
Yeah, it's a competency hearing.
That would be new, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Brown, you're going to see me on October 27th.
Yes.
I am going to set a bond in this case in the amount of $150.
Sir, I can't pay a bond. I don't have no money. That's why I was panhandling.
Yeah, you don't qualify for pretrial release, and I'm not going to oppose pretrial release. You're out on bond already, and you have 2 felony allegations out there that have yet to be resolved. So actually, you're not out on bond. You're out on ROR. But I'm not going to take any action as to those cases, and you will have a bond in this case in the amount of $150. If you're still in, we'll have a conversation on October 27th about it.
I thought those cases was over because I mean competent for trial.
We've got status hearing.
I will explain to the client, Your Honor.
All right, thanks, Ms. Jimenez. Yeah, they're not quite over. They're kind of pending, but we can have a conversation on the 27th. Ms. Jimenez will let you know what your options are. Thanks. Crystal San Pedro Thayer.
She's detoxing, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, this will be a second reset. We'll try again. We're going to reset this for Friday.
Friday?
And Your Honor, Cecilia Center also refused.
All right.
Detoxing.
Are these refusals or detoxing?
Well, all the information that I have here is they're refusing detoxing, so up to the court.
Okay. Well, I don't know whether they're medically unable to attend initial appearance or whether they are volitionally absenting themselves from the process.
I don't have that information either, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll we're going to reset these both cases for tomorrow, and I'll need to know from the jail facility whether they are refusing to come to court or whether they are medically unable to come to court.
Judge, I have the history for our last, I believe, Marissa Diaz.
Yes, thanks. Let's recall Ms. Diaz.
I concur with the state. She does not have any history whatsoever. This
Thanks.
is her first arrest.
All right. Ms. Diaz, the court has read the affidavit and finds probable cause for the allegation of battery domestic violence related. Court's going to set a bond in the amount of $250 plus pretrial release conditions. We've not had a statement from Mr. King, so at this point you're to have no contact with Mr. King, and I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Ms. Jimenez, do you want to ask whether she and Mr. King live together?
1 second, Your Honor. No, Your Honor, they do not live together.
All right, they are to maintain separate residences. So no contact and maintain separate residences with $250 bond and pretrial release conditions. Thank you, Ms. Diaz.
You're welcome.
All right, that was the last of the cases that I had on my list. Ms. Jimenez, do you have any additional clients?
No, Your Honor.
Right. Have a good day. Thanks for your help.
You too.